Welcome to Gear Up Your Web by Max Web Gear. This broadcast is designed to help you achieve success on the web. And now your host, Ken Carroll.
Old junkers in small business. What do they have in common? Imagine I had a few dollars and I needed a car. So I go start looking around for a car, and it turns out I can't afford to buy one of these things. And so then I start looking at new cars. I'm not qualified for it. But then the harder I look, I finally come across something that I can't afford. It's an old junker. The old junker doesn't have an engine. It doesn't have a transmission. This old car doesn't even have windshields. They've all been busted in. You know, the side mirrors have been broken out and the steering column's gone. But I can afford it. And at the end of the day, I can say, I own a car. The question is, have I achieved my goal? No, I've not achieved my goal. All I've done is basically say I've got a car. In small business, this happens all the time. Small businesses, they'll invest in a program that doesn't consider goals. It doesn't consider a plan. It doesn't consider where they need to go. All it considers is, I've got this item checked off on my list. So the way most businesses look at it is something like this. Let's take a website, for example. I need a website. The reason I need a website is because everybody's got a website. Website's a website. And so what they'll do is they're going to go out and they're going to buy this website program, either from a website builder or hire some poorly qualified freelancer or another inadequate solution, such as a hobbyist or college kid or something like that. And then they go buy this program or the whatever they buy from a contract agreement or they buy into a subscription. And then once they do it, the first step is, let's create you a design. No goals are considered. No strategic plan is considered. Let's just create you a design. And so the design is created. Once the design is created, then content is added. Send me your about page. Send me your contact page. Send me a few testimonials and a little information about your products. Then let's create your website. Then the website's rolled off the assembly line, made live, and then the business thinks that they're happy. That one ingredient is why over 95% of all small business websites fail. There is no goal. It goes from design to generic content to launching a website and no success. It's because there's no plan. It's like jumping in your car. No one jumps in their car and says, okay, let's go on vacation, and they have no idea where they're going to go. But they still get in their car and then they head out the door. Small businesses should never do this. But that's what the majority of services are on the web today. Not just from a website design perspective. It transcends everything from yellow page ads to radio ads to social media, website development, branding, logo design, down to choosing colors, call to actions, messages, you name it. It's all done from a standpoint of no planning. Jumping in the car, let's head down the road, and let's hope we make it to the beach. It doesn't happen. So what can you do to be different? What can you do to change this for you and you become one of these very small percentage of businesses that don't waste money inventing and reinventing the same thing over and over again, hoping to have a different result? The first thing you could do is you're going to have a goal in mind. Most times it's not just one single goal. Most times it's a series of goals. Once those goals are identified, then you move into step 2. Step 2 is creating a strategic plan. A strategic plan considers what tools are the most effective for meeting your goals. Is it a web page? Is it a Facebook page? Is it traditional marketing? Is it a combination of all those things? Is it print ad, radio ads? You name it. What goes into it? Also considering your demographic. Are you servicing middle-aged people, older people, younger people? What kind of people are they? Are they conservatives? Are they liberals? Are they, what are these people and who are they? And then what are their expectations? That all has to go into a strategic plan. Considering your geographic outreach, considering so many aspects that goes into it. And then once this strategic plan is created, then you start to build the tools to accommodate what the goals are through the strategic plan. So step 3 is where the design begins. It's not on step 1, which if you go to any website builder program today, the one thing you're going to see is their step 1 is choose a design. Well, that should be your first sign that it's the wrong path. If your designer chooses a design, let me send you a design, normally that's the wrong path. So once all that's been achieved, Then the designs start to come into place. Now, the design, the colors of the design, the logos, the overall branding, the actual choices and where you're going to market and how you're going to market all go into it. Then once that's done, then metrics are added. Metrics is a fancy way of saying we're going to track and see how well this stuff's working. And as it's being tracked, you're going to find that certain things outperform others. And then modifications are going to be made over time. These modifications are going to serve your target demographic more and more. And then as it's further fine-tuned, then your ROI is going to increase over time. You're not going to have instant success no matter what. And so the next step of fine-tuning your program over time, it's part of the system. The days of I'm on Facebook because I have a business page, but I don't put anything on it. Those days never were really here to begin with, but now they're so far behind us. It's a foreign language. The idea of having a brochure-style website that doesn't engage customers, that doesn't educate them, those days are gone. The models, though, are still there. People are still peddling their services, regardless if it's search engine optimization or whatever. So let's kind of recap on what you need to do. First of all, you're going to need a goal. You're going to need a strategic plan. You're going to need to understand your demographic. You're going to need to choose the right tools that are going to meet your goals. Once that's been done, track and fine-tune over time. As you can tell, your college kid's not going to be able to do that. Your high school kid's not going to be able to do that, certainly. Your hobbyist isn't going to be able to do it. Your stay-at-home mom's not going to be able to do it. Your website builder program's not going to be able to do it. And, the person who you're paying part-time to post things on Facebook's not going to be able to do that either unless they're properly guided. And that's the cold, hard truth. It's very cold-hearted, but it's the reality of business today. The web world is way too competitive to be friendly to, going through and, just throwing a few things together and then hoping that it works. There's probably a few segments within the market where it might possibly work, but do you really want to throw what money you do have toward it? So, usually the next question that I'm asked by businesses is they go, well, I really can't afford to do that. So I'm probably going to start with a website builder. And then once I start making a little bit of money, then I'll invest more into it. That's kind of like saying you're going to go buy a junker without an engine or a transmission. Then as you get a few bucks, you're going to go buy a carburetor. Then you get a few more dollars, you're going to go do it. How long is it going to take for this plan actually to get off the ground? The reality is, by the time you do make that money, you're going to just throw the clunker away and then go do something else. So my advice to you is if you're a small business and you're serious about this, make a serious commitment to it. Don't make a cursory decision, to just halfway do it. This doesn't mean that you can't do the ready, fire, aim philosophy that most marketers do. It just means you need to be smart about your ready, fire, aim mentality in the process. So in essence, I hope this helps you out with today's session. And I wish you the best. It's a very hard market out there for small businesses to
Thank you for listening today, and be sure to tune into the next episode of Gear Up Your Web by Max Web Gear.